welcome back to another Spud Travels video. You join us on our family holiday to Mexico. We stayed at the Occidental at the Xcaret Destination next to Xcaret Park. Had the most amazing time. I never often want to go back to the same destination again, but I would definitely go back here in a flash. It was super chilled out, lots of animals, amazing food, amazing drinks. The staff are so friendly, and we're going to get into that in this video about what's there, what's to see, and a few tips and tricks when you book your holiday. So we actually booked a package deal through British Airways. It was a 9-10 hour flight from the UK. It's the first really long haul flight that I've ever done. There was more movies than you could ever watch, unlimited gin and tonics, amazing food, and the staff was super cool. When we landed, we were actually right in the middle of a storm, so it was blowing an absolute hurricane, absolute monsoon pouring down, and it was so humid. The taxi ride to the hotel took about an hour, and I'm so glad I didn't hire a car because the driving over there was very questionable. This is actually the entrance of the hotel the following day when it stopped raining. Great big undercover area, and as you walk in, you've got this amazing architecture and this amazing foyer with all these different levels and all this seating area, and then you can see all the way out to the sea. So we're off to a good start. There's animals all around the hotel. We haven't even got into the park yet. This is just in the hotel, and there's parrots and lizards and monkeys all over the place. It took us a couple of days to realise that this boat was actually from the hotel next door. It passed through our hotel and then onto Xcaret Park, but actually we're only walking distance to the park, but we'll talk more about the park later on in this video. You can see the hotel's absolutely stunning at night. It's really well lit up, and there's all these amazing walkways all over the place. This is the foyer of the complex where we stayed, which is slightly away from the main hotel, which is closer to the sea and the outside pools and the outside bars. They give you a wristband, which is access to your room, and then also access to the buffets and the different restaurants. Room was really nice and clean, very spacious, and also because we were in an outside complex, we were right in the woods, so we're more likely to have monkeys on our balcony. He used to visit us all the time.
Hey mate! My days. What on earth? Will you let you touch him? What are we doing? Hello. Oh, he's holding my hand.
And then literally just outside of our complex was this pool. There was about 4 or 5 different pools, some of them adults only. This one, as you can see, has got a bar in the background. All super clean, and no one reserving any sunbeds with any tails or anything like that. And again, more animals. You've got the flamingos with the lizards. The water was quite cold. There's your outside bar. And this is one of the outside restaurants where you could sit and have lunch. You could get snacks pretty much all of the day up until about 5-6 o'clock. And this was the first time I ventured down to the sea. I only had my phone with me, but this was the tail end of the storm that we had the day before, so the water was proper choppy and it was really, really windy. But this was the windiest day and it calmed down loads after this. This is back at the main building of the hotel. Like I say, this is the taxi boat that runs from the hotel the other side to Xcaret Park. So you don't get on this one. If you walk slightly further down this footpath, there's a much smaller boat that takes you around the corner, but honestly, it's a 5-minute walk. And then we'd always factor in about an extra 10 minutes to get to the restaurants, because we'd always stop and chat to the parrots, who are absolutely hilarious and very chatty. This was your main buffet restaurant. This was open most of the day, so you could come and get breakfast, lunch and dinner here. Amazing selection of food, lots of fresh vegetables, lots of cheeses, hams, fresh breads, and then hot food as well. This was breakfast. The most amazing hash browns I think I've ever had in my life. And then one of my favourite things to do every morning was go to the omelette station. You pick out what you want in your omelette, he chucks it on the grill, cooks it through while he's cooking your eggs. and that was amazing. That was chorizo, spinach and sweet corn, I believe. Just watching this now, I want to immediately go back and get one of them.
Gracias.
Seeing the animals in the park was definitely one of my favourite bits about the whole trip, but coming up next was one of my favourite things, which was the pina colada minesweeping deer. Used to come down the beach every day and drink everyone's drinks.
Just when you think you should everything, try and have a nice little quiet drink on the beach.
Oh no, not the pina colada.
Just like a random... He's having the pina colada!
This is a model of the Xcaret Park next door, which is open to the public. We haven't got into this yet, but it is vast, so make sure you've got good walking shoes. When I was posting a few bits on my Instagram, a lot of people said, oh, I wouldn't go there because I don't like the lizards, but honestly, they're more scared of you than you are of them, and you can't get too close before they, I say hurry away, they're not fast. Other options for food in the evening were restaurants that you had to pre-book, but they were included as part of our deal. We had a certain amount of vouchers that we could get into these other different restaurants. So I think there was a Chinese, an Indian, a steakhouse, a fish restaurant and a Mexican place, and the food was absolutely next level. This was more of your proper restaurant dining experience rather than a buffet, so you had to have trousers, closed shoes. And then, unlike the buffet, everything's cooked to order. You normally get starters and a main and then choose a dessert. And the food was absolutely delicious. We were there for 10 days and I think we had 6 passes, but they were just generic passes, so you could go back to the same place twice, which we did. We went to the steak place twice and the Italian twice. It's really lovely. This is us walking down to the beach. About a 10-minute walk where there's another restaurant and this amazing bay, where the water is actually warmer than the swimming pools because it gets trapped in the sun all day and doesn't flow out to sea. And then this is the restaurant, which we ended up preferring this restaurant because it was a little bit further away from the hotel. It was less busy, it was much more spread out, and you were right on the sea. This was also part of your all-inclusive buffet. They did breakfast and lunch here, not dinner, so this was closed in the evenings. But you could also bring your swimming stuff with you to breakfast or lunch and then get changed and jump straight in the warm sea afterwards. And then not far from this bay and this restaurant is one of 2 entrances to the Xcaret Park. So you have to see the lady on the gate there, show your wristband, sign in, and then you either go through this tunnel or from the main entrance from the hotel. This is the boat that I was talking about, but again, both easy walking distance, and then you're in the main Xcaret Park, which is rather large, but they've got this very clever coloured pathway system, so you get to a map and then follow the coloured pathway depending on where you're trying to get to. There's little performances you come across all around the park, and this one was called the Danza de los Volotoros, which I've probably ruined the pronunciation of that, but in English it's called the Dance of the Flyers. There we go. I hope you enjoyed that. I think you can agree that was pretty spectacular. The other highlight of this park, and something that we did several times, was the underwater rivers, which went the full length of the park, all the way underneath. Anything that you don't want to take with you, you pack into these bags. They give you a token and they go on a truck, and then when you get the other end, they're waiting for you when you get there. You join this queue, grab the right size life jacket, and then head down these slopes into the underwater caves. Honestly, it was so magical. Absolutely awesome.
Oh, look at this.
Você sabe que senão vai gastar toda sua memória. Eu vou filmar até o fim do passeio.
I think there was 3 different cave river routes, and along each route there was 4 or 5 places with steps where you could get in or out. If you wanted to like go off and see some other bits of the park, you could then get back in again where you were or a little bit later on. It's really well thought out.
Olha, que suave.
Déjame una foto más acá.
How cool is that?
And then, like I said, when you get out the other end, you give them your token, they go and find your bag that's got your stuff in it. There's not only wildlife around the park as well, there's loads of cats, and they are super tame. He looked really wide-eyed like he was about to attack me as I came up to him, but I was just nice and slow, came up to him and started stroking him, and he was just stretched out. He loved it. You'd also see these coatis, I think they're called. You'd see them all around the park, but you'd often find them in the bin, rummaging for a food wrapper that had a bit of food left over on it. Back in the room on the balcony, I always loved watching the monkeys and trying to interact with them a little bit. If you open your balcony door a tiny bit and put your hand out, they normally hold your hand or touch your hand. However, don't fully open your balcony door, otherwise they'll be in your room going through your stuff. Also, don't leave anything on your balcony, otherwise it'll be gone. Something else that I'm not sure you're supposed to do, but I saw other people doing it, is feeding the fish. I got a bread roll from the breakfast bar and was just breaking it up and chucking it in the water.
Nick, I could just grab one. Got some more pina colada like yesterday.
No, don't give him gin.
Pink gin? Oh, you got a friend. No cocktails for you, mate. What was he like? Oh, mate. Mate, he knows how to do some minesweeping, doesn't he? He's been well trained.
Are thirsty?
What a fella.
One of the days we did wake up to a bit of rain, so we just went to reception and booked a taxi just up to the nearest biggest town and just went to a Walmart where, if you've never been to a Walmart before, you could literally buy absolutely everything, including a TV, lots and lots of tequila, a quad bike, a set of tyres, every American snack you can think of, and every flavour of cereal on the planet. We were warned at the hotel to make sure you get a taxi back from a taxi rank. There's a lot of mini cubbers floating around who may or may not take you back to your hotel. This is back in Xcaret Park, where they've got a massive aquarium, an aquatic section. You spend absolutely hours walking around here, and they've got every single little bit of underwater wildlife known to man. I say little bit, some big bits as well.
Oh, look, it's a mama and her baby.
There's ancient ruins dotted around all over the park, but please don't climb on them. And then in this bit of the park we had to cross this gigantic bridge, which was not only super cool, but it was also to keep the big wildcats in. Through this bit of the park is an old school market where you can buy like little trinkets and little handmade things that are all made by the people that are working there. And then we stumbled across these guys who are rehearsing for the evening show. About halfway through the trail at the back of the park, we went through this gigantic butterfly cage. All different types of butterflies in there, and if you stand still long enough, they'll even come and land on you.
It's a massive one.
I own a butterfly now.
And then in this building, I suddenly got my bearings and realised we're right above this gigantic stained glass window that we spotted the day before as we were going through the underground river. This area was awesome. It was a big spiral walkway that went up this enclosure. I think I got attacked by this pelican. I must have cut it out. But this is near the top. You spiral all the way up and out. And then this building on the left is one of the original buildings that the park was built around. I think it was like an old military base. But there's loads of staged rooms and loads of history and lots of signs to read. Go and take it all in. And on the way back to the main entrance, we stumbled across this gigantic building that they were setting up for the evening's Spectacular Show. This is on another day where we got a buggy down to the beach. There are buggy routes that run around the hotel, but they're not loads and loads of buggies, so you might have to wait for a good 20 minutes before you see a buggy, at which point it's quick as a walk. But there are buggies if you're struggling to get around. But today we're feeling lazy, so we got a buggy down to the beach where you've got this cool pool where you can swim with the fish. This is back in the park where they got a gigantic gift shop and loads of stuff to spend your money on, including randomly an aquarium. We stumbled across this super cool kind of church in a cave. I'm still not 100% sure what that was, but it looked like some sort of shrine or a church. And then we timed it just right to get to this amazing horse show, which runs several times throughout the day. But we got there just as the sun was going down because we were on our way to watch the Spectacular Show, which only happens at the end of the day. Once again, another amazing performance in the park, and then we started walking towards the Spectacular Show. Got all these actors on the walk to the main arena, trying to drum up a bit of suspense and get a bit of hype going, which definitely works. And then we're in the main arena for the Spectacular Show, or I believe it's called the Espectacular in Spanish, which is 500 years of Mexican history, culture and folklore. I've got a few clips of that. I'll play them now. Amazing. And after this we went back to the hotel. We found this like bar food area upstairs, which I'll be honest wasn't the best food, but it was edible and fairly tasty. Back in the park on another day. Took us a little while to find out where this boat ride was leaving from. We got all these walkways that are all through the woods. More coatis who are pretty friendly. They're scavenging for food. You can get quite close to them, but I wouldn't try and stroke them because they look like they might have a little go at your hand. And then we jumped on this boat which went through all these caves. It was narrated and very relaxing, very interesting, very chilled out.
Every year, the lights of the candles are believed to guide the souls that are lost.
And then this was another thing that was really good, is a big tower ride. So you go in this circle seating area. He shuts the doors. Got a little bit warm in there, but not too bad. And then it rotates around and sends you all the way out to the top, and you can see 4 miles. You can see the whole park and the hotel resort all the way to the beach. And we even got hunted down by some birds of prey. And then this is a little snippet of the evening entertainment at the hotel, not in the park, which for the first few days they had a power cut or something. There was no evening entertainment at all. But we caught one show and it's exactly what you'd hope for. Loud music, bright lights and well choreographed performance. Start to finish the video up a bit by talking about the animals again. This big guy was about 4 foot long and was just jumping around the tree like a cat. And generally around the park there is animals everywhere. You don't need to be scared of them. They're all pretty slow moving. They will all give you a wide berth. Even the lizards you can get pretty close to. They'll either do nothing, or if you chance it, which I thought this guy was going to do when I got really, really close, I thought he was going to run away, but he never did. So if you've made it this far in the video, I hope you found that helpful. Couple of little things to finish with. We went in November. It was probably 25 to 30 degrees the whole time. It was quite humid the first couple of days after the thunderstorm. After that it wasn't too bad. There's also Wi-Fi throughout the entire park and the resort, and once you've logged in once, your phone will automatically jump on and off the Wi-Fi wherever you are. So we didn't bother getting a local SIM card, we just used the Wi-Fi. So that's it from me. Leave any comments and questions in the comment section, I'll get back to you. I'll leave you with this super friendly deer by the pool who's pretending to be a pet dog. Like and subscribe as always, check out my other videos, and I'll see you on the next one.